Hello and welcome to the Aakash BYJU'S YouTube channel. My name is Atiullah and we are live with a very important update on Class 12 Term 2 examination. Okay, so the update has just come in and we're going to discuss the pattern for Term 2 examination of Class 12 boards. Okay, so before we begin this very important session, just let me know if you can hear me properly and you can see me clearly. Okay guys, give me a thumbs up, give me a yes, so that we can quickly start with this session and tell you about this all important update. Right guys, quickly let me know if you can see and hear me properly. All right, great. Welcome guys. So you might be aware that CBSE has finally come up with the Term 2 pattern, okay, the much awaited Term 2 pattern, and we're going to discuss that now. All right, so let's get started. So you know that the board's examination has been divided in Term 1 and Term 2. So first we are going to give a comparison of Term 1 and Term 2. What is the time allotted, how many questions are going to be there, what are going to be the types of question, the pattern of question, and what would be the associated marks with them. Okay, and at the end of the session I'm also going to give you a small tip or some strategy how you can go about your preparation. Okay, so first we're going to start with mathematics. Okay, so mathematics Term 1, you know that the time allowed is 90 minutes. So the paper has to be written in 90 minutes and the maximum marks is 40. Now this entire paper, the Term 1 paper, is divided into three sections. Sections A, Section B and Section C. So what happens in Section A? There are going to be 20 multiple choice questions. So there are going to be 4 options. You have to choose the correct option. So these are objective questions. So out of these 20 questions, you have to attempt only 16. Okay. In Section B also, there are going to be 20 questions and you have to attempt only 16. And the Section C is going to consist of 10 MCQs in which you have to attempt 8 questions. Okay, and all questions carry equal mark and each question carries 1 mark, which makes it 1 into 40 is equal to 40 marks. Okay, and there is no negative marking in this paper, so that's something which you need not fear. Okay, so this is the pattern for Term 1. Now the very important pattern for Term 2. Now Term 2 is going to be a subjective paper. Okay, so you actually have to write all your answers. Okay, so it is going to be a different kind of paper from objective. Okay, so again it is going to be divided into 3 sections, Section A, B and C. The time allowed is 2 hours compared to 1.5 hours for Term 1, correct? So time allowed is 2 hours, the maximum marks is 40, and then we are going to have some short answer type questions and some long answer type questions, which are abbreviated as essay and LA. Okay, so let's go section wise. So in Section A, there are going to be 6 short answer type questions and they are going to carry 2 marks each. In Section B, there are going to be 4 short answer type questions and they are going to carry 3 marks each. And in Section C, we're going to have 4 long answer type questions and they're going to carry 4 marks each. Is that correct? Okay, so Captain Jack Sparrow is asking, completely subjective. Yes, the paper is completely subjective, but it may happen, and I'm going to tell you depending on the sample paper that we have seen, that there might be objective questions also. Okay, we will get to that, but predominantly Term 2 is subjective. Okay, now all questions are mandatory. Okay, in this one all questions are mandatory and there can be internal choice in some of the questions. Okay, so how many total questions are there? 6 plus 4 plus 4, which are 14 questions. So you have to attempt all 14 questions, but some questions can come with options. Okay, so you can choose either or. Okay, internal choices in the questions might be there. Now question 14, okay, especially the last question, is going to be a case-based problem. Okay, case-based problem is very similar to comprehension type problems. So question 14 is going to be slightly different from the other questions. It is going to be case-based. Okay, so as per the sample paper we have seen, there are going to be 2 subparts and they are going to carry 2 marks each. Is that correct? So this is what we have to think about or what we have to know about Term 1 and Term 2 pattern for mathematics. Okay. Now we also are discussing that what is the syllabus and what is the weightage given by CBSE. So it tells you something about that how well you have to prepare a chapter. In my opinion, you have to prepare all the chapters well, but there is weightage associated with chapters. So that gives you a sense that what chapters or what topics are really important. Okay, so if we talk about Term 1 syllabus, then relations and functions has 8 marks, algebra has a weightage of 10 marks, calculus has a weightage of 17 marks, and linear programming has a weightage of 5 marks. Okay, so that makes it total of 40 marks. Correct? So that is for Term 1. Let's talk about Term 2. In Term 2, calculus has a massive weightage of 18, vector and 3D has a weightage of 14, probability has a weightage of 4 marks. That makes it 40 as well. Okay, so you can get a slight idea as to what topics are extremely important from board's point of view. But in my opinion, all topics have to be studied well, because unlike competitive examinations, here you have to score above 80, above 90, above 95, right? In competitive exams, even if you score 30 or 40%, you can get a good rank. But in board's examination, you have to be prepared with all the topics, right? Alright, so that's about mathematics. Now let's talk about chemistry. Now in chemistry Term 1, the allowed time is 90 minutes, okay, and maximum marks is 35. And this paper is also divided into 3 sections, section A, B and C, and the pattern is completely objective. So in section A, you'll have 25 MCQs, out of which you have to answer only 20. And in section B, you have 24 MCQs, out of which you have to answer 20. And in section C, there are going to be 6 MCQs, out of which you have to answer 5. Okay, all questions are going to carry equal marks, and there is going to be no negative marking. Okay, Priyanshu is asking why Term 1 discussion. Term 1 discussion is there to give you a comparison between Term 1 and Term 2. Okay, so that we are absolutely clear about it. Okay, we don't want to get confused between Term 1 and Term 2. That's why we're discussing it again, to give you a clear comparison. Alright, now chemistry Term 2. Okay, what is the pattern for chemistry Term 2? Now here the time allowed is 2 hours and the maximum marks is 35. What is the marking scheme? Again, the questions are short answer type questions and case based problems. Case based problems, as I said, is comprehension based problem. Okay, it's very similar to comprehension based problem. Alright, so let's see the split. In section 1, there are going to be 3 short answer questions, which are going to carry 2 marks each. Then there are going to be 8 short answer type questions in section B, which is going to carry 3 marks each. And then in section C, there's going to be 1 case based question, which is going to carry 5 marks. Okay, now all questions are compulsory, but as I said, some questions may come with options. Okay, there can be internal options in the questions. Question 14, as I said, is going to be a case-based problem. Okay, they're going to give you a case, they're going to give you a situation, they're going to give you a comprehension, and based on that, you'll have to answer questions. Okay, that is the pattern for chemistry Term 2. Is that right, guys? Okay, now let's talk about the weightage. So if we talk about the Term 1 syllabus, then solid state and solution combined have a 10 marks weightage. P block elements have 17 marks weightage, and then haloalkenes and haloarenes, alcohols, phenols and ethers, and biomolecules, okay, the organic part, that is going to have 15 marks weightage. Okay, so that makes it 35 marks. Correct? Okay, now let's talk about Term 2 syllabus. In Term 2 syllabus, physical chemistry part, electrochemistry, chemical kinetics, surface chemistry, that is going to carry 13 marks, and D and F block elements and coordination compounds, the inorganic part, that is going to carry 9 marks. And the organic part, aldehydes, ketones, carboxylic acids and amines, they are going to carry 13 marks, which makes it a total of 35 marks. Now let's come to physics Term 1. Okay, so physics Term 1, The time allowed is 90 minutes. The maximum marks is 35. Okay, again this is broken down into 3 sections, and in section A there are going to be 25 MCQs, out of which you have to answer 20. In section B there are going to be 24 MCQs, out of which you have to answer 20. And section C there are going to be 6 MCQs, out of which you have to answer 5. All questions are going to carry equal marks. Correct? Okay, so that is the pattern for term 1. But what is the pattern for term 1? The term 2, which is the important thing. For term 2, the time allowed is 2 hours. Okay, half hour more than term 1 paper. Okay, so the time allowed is 2 hours. The maximum marks is 35. Again, this is broken down into 3 sections, and they're going to be short answer type questions and case based problems. So in section A, there are going to be 3 short answer questions with 2 marks each. In section B, there are going to be 8 short answer questions with 3 marks each. And in section C, there's going to be 1 case-based problem which is going to carry 5 marks. Okay, so what we have seen is that these case-based problems, they're slightly different in physics, chemistry, and biology and mathematics. Okay, they're slightly different. So what I saw in the sample paper for physics was that the case-based problem had 5 multiple choice questions. Okay, so case-based problems may be multiple choice questions, or they can also be in the form of subjective questions. Okay, so we have to be prepared for both, but the important thing is that you will be given a situation, a comprehension, a case, and we'll have to solve the questions based on that. Okay, now all questions are compulsory, but as I said, some questions can come with options. Okay, they can be internal options. Question number 14, as I said earlier also, it is going to be a case-based problem. Okay, now what are the weightages? For term 1, the weightage for electrostatics and current electricity combined is 17 marks, and then electromagnetic induction, and then magnetism and matter, and moving charges are magnetism, basically electromagnetism, they have a weightage of 18, and that is going to make it 35. That is the total marks for term 1. Okay, let's talk about term 2. In term 2, electromagnetic waves, ray optics and optical instruments, wave optics, they have a combined weightage of 17. Dual nature of radiation and matter, basically the modern physics part, atoms and nuclei, and electronic devices, that is semiconductors, they are going to have a weightage of 11 and 7. Okay, so that makes it 35 as well. So that is the pattern for term 2. That is the that is the weightage of topics for term 2 syllabus. Correct? All clear, guys? Perfect. Now let's talk about biology also. So in biology, term 1, the time allowed is 90 minutes and the maximum marks is 35. What about the exam pattern? The exam pattern for section A, again, all this exam is also broken down into 3 sections. In section A, 24 MCQs, out of which you have to answer 20. In section B, there are 24 MCQs, out of which you have to answer 20. And in section C, there are going to be 12 MCQs and you have to answer 10. Correct? Okay, all questions are going to carry same marks. So that is for term 1. And what is the pattern for term 2? The pattern for term 2 is something like this. The time allowed is 2 hours. The maximum marks is 35. Again, they are going to be short answer type questions and case-based questions. Okay, so a major difference that we have seen here is that they have introduced these case-based questions. Okay, and they carry a good amount of weightage. Alright, so section A, they're going to be 6 short answer type questions carrying 2 marks each. In section B, they're going to be 6 short answer type questions which carry 3 marks each. And in section C, there's going to be 1 case-based question. Okay, it is going to carry 5 marks. Again, all questions are compulsory, but there can be internal choices in the question as well. Okay, so you would get choices, but the total number of questions, that is 6 plus 6 and plus 1. So 13 questions, all 13 questions you will have to answer. Is that clear? Now let's quickly talk about the syllabus, the weightage. Alright, so reproduction, the entire unit, that will have 15 marks. Genetics and evolution is going to have 20 marks. So the total is 35 marks. And let's talk about syllabus for term 2. Then biology in human welfare, that carries 14 marks. Biotechnology carries 11 marks, and ecology and environment carries 10 marks. So that makes it a total of 35 marks. Okay. Is the pattern clear? Is there any confusion regarding the pattern? Then you can let me know. Okay, so this is the pattern and the weightage. Now what are you going to do? Okay, what is your action item? That's what I'm going to tell you. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the CBSE website, okay, and you're going to check the syllabus. Okay, the syllabus might have changed. Okay, so you have to check the updated syllabus and you have to see what are the added topics, what are the removed topics. Okay, knowledge in any form, in any way is great. Okay, you should study as much as you want. There should be no restriction. But when we are talking about an exam, then we should know what is the syllabus. Okay, we have to focus on the syllabus first, and then we have to go outside of that. So my suggestion would be the first thing you need to do is go and check your syllabus. Correct? Once you have done that, then there are sample papers that are provided by CBSE. Okay, the link is given in the description box. You can also Google it and figure that out. So the sample papers are extremely important. So looking at the sample paper, you'll understand what is the pattern. Looking at the sample paper is also going to give you a little bit idea of the difficulty level. Okay, and the very important thing that CBSE has given also is they have given the solutions, and they have also given what is the part marking that they are going to do. Okay, so how do you have to write the answers? Because it is a subjective pattern, term 2 is subjective, so we'll have to write answers, and we have to be very good at writing answers also. Okay, we just don't have to get to an answer and tick, we have to write it in a very structured manner. Okay, so CBSE has also provided the solution as well as their marking scheme. So you write this part, you get this marks. Okay, you write this part, you get this amount of mark. So that is also very, very important. That is going to give you an idea how to write these questions. So this is the second thing that you're going to do. Okay, so link for the syllabus, link for the sample paper, all of that has been provided in the description box. Please check. And how do you go about your board's examination? Okay, now the first thing you need to understand is how much time do you have, okay, and how much time do you have on each topic. So first you're going to create your timetable. So you're going to see how many topics you have to cover, okay, in mathematics, in physics, in chemistry, in biology, whatever are your subjects, how many topics are there, okay, and then you have to understand how much time do you have, okay. So the time divided by the number of topics, and then you're going to go in, you're going to subdivide it, okay. So if you take one chapter, what you should do is you should make a concept checklist, okay. So let's say about physics, okay, so we need to talk about electrostatics. So electrostatics, you should make a concept checklist. What can consist of the concept checklist? Number one, Coulomb's law, okay, what kind of questions come on Coulomb's law? Okay, then electric field, what is electric field? Then electric potential, okay, the relationship between field and potential. Then electrostatic potential energy, okay. So you should be able to subdivide your chapter into small topics and create a concept checklist so that you can understand, okay, this part is absolutely clear, this part is not clear, this needs revision. So you will understand that in each and every chapter, what is it that you're lacking and what is the strong point and how you can go about improving your weak points or things you have forgotten. Okay, so Priyanshu is asking, what about derivation? Yes, derivations can be asked in CBSE. So whatever is given in NCERT, the derivations that are given in NCERT, we should be well versed with that. And that was the next point I was going to come to. For your board's examination, CBSE board's examination, NCERT is your holy grail, it is your holy book. You have to go through NCERT. Okay, everything that is written in NCERT is your syllabus, so you have to be very well versed with that. So if you are preparing for your board's examination, going through NCERT at least once or twice is very important. It may happen that some of the things in NCERT you're not able to understand, or you have understood it in a different manner, but all you need to make sure is that no matter from which source you have understood the concept, whatever is the concept mentioned in NCERT, you should be aware of that. Okay, you should be well versed with that. It doesn't matter from which source you studied, but the important thing is we have studied everything. Correct? So NCERT is extremely important. Okay, and we have also already talked about how you can break down all the chapters and make a concept checklist. One strategy which helped a lot of students, it helped me also, that you should make your own notes. When you are making your own notes and when you are writing in your own words, okay, it gives you much more clarity. Okay, reading something, keeping that in mind is something else, but actually putting your pen to the paper and writing it down, that makes a lot of difference. In psychology there's something called journaling, okay, where whatever thoughts are there in your mind, when you write it down, the thoughts become much more clear. You're able to think properly, you're able to think in a more structured way. So writing all your notes is going to be very helpful, and especially in your own words, that is going to tell you if everything is clear or not. Okay, so Priyanshu is asking, while making notes, short notes or lengthy notes? Okay, obviously Priyanshu, short notes. You need to make short notes. Lengthy notes, if you have something which is lengthy, write it point wise. Okay, don't write the entire story. Okay, write it point wise so that you remember. The crux here is to understand that the concept that is underlying, is that clear to you or not? Okay, so if you write it point wise, that is also sufficient. Okay, but making notes in your own words is going to be very, very helpful. Okay, NCERT is very important, as I said, but if there are things you are not able to understand in NCERT, okay, NCERT, there could be things which is not clear. Their explanation, sometimes it becomes difficult and it's not clear. Then there are a lot of external sources. BYJU'S has also created a lot of sources. Okay, so you can check out the website for Aakash, BYJU'S, JEE and NEET. You can check out the JEE and NEET YouTube channels. There's a lot of content regarding concepts, regarding notes. A lot of things are there, and that is going to be very helpful if you want any extra help. Okay, so do keep that in mind. And the syllabus, so the pattern here is subjective. Okay, for term 2 the pattern is subjective. Now if the pattern is subjective, then writing your answers, that is an art. Okay, it may happen that you know all the answers, you understand the concept very well, but you are not able to write it properly. Okay, so the examiner is only going to see what you have written. The examiner is not going to go into your head and try to figure out what you actually know. Okay, so writing that down properly in your answer is very, very important. Okay, so for that we need to write a lot of sample papers. Okay, so sample papers, past year papers, and mock tests. Okay, that is also very important, so that you are able to write them properly. Knowing is not enough. You should be able to write that down as well. All right, questions, guys. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer that. Regarding strategy, regarding anything, if you have any questions, you can let me know. Okay, so Nirmala, you have a doubt. Please tell me, what's your doubt? Amrit, hi, what's your doubt? Sir, how to obtain the session PPT and notes? Okay, I'll check, Punish, I'll see if we can attach that to the description box. You can come and check out this link again, and we'll see if we can put that up. Okay, but obviously it's a very short session. You can go through the video again, you can pause the video and note important things or take screenshots. Okay, that's also what you can do. Okay, how can we register for JEE? Okay, so Romil, you can go to the JEE website, just Google it and you'll know how to register for JEE. Okay, you'll have to go to their website and register. Okay, so Palanivel is asking JEE versus boards. Okay, so basically I think you're asking how to balance between JEE and boards. Okay, I think that's what you mean by JEE versus boards. Okay, see, JEE is important, and I know that most of your effort has gone into JEE, but boards are also important. Okay, it's good to have good marks in boards examination, although they don't have an effect on your admission seats in JEE. But later on in your resume, sometime later, if you want to do an MBA, it's good to have decent marks or good marks in boards. Okay, so here was my strategy. I focused mostly on JEE. I focused mostly on competitive examinations. But closer to the date, when boards exam was about to happen, let's say I had 2 months, 2.5 months, then I allotted some time to the book which was based on that board. Okay, I appeared from a different board, so I did not go through NCERT, but I went through books which was relevant to that board. So when there are 2.5 months remaining for your paper, okay, if you have studied well for JEE, your concepts would be clear, your understanding would be good, but what you need to do is you need to go through NCERT and you need to make a checklist. Okay, this concept I know, this concept I know, this definition I know, this derivation I know, okay, or this derivation I don't know, let's practice that. Okay, that's how you need to make a concept checklist, and you need to make sure that whatever is written in NCERT, you know it. Be it from NCERT or the source could be outside of NCERT, does not matter. The important thing is that you understand. Alright, Vikas is asking, sir, how can we make short notes? Short notes are very simple, because when you are revising a topic, you have gone through the topic, you have revised it, close your book and try to write it yourself. Okay, every concept, try to write it yourself. For example, if you're talking about Coulomb's law, how to make short notes. Okay, so what is Coulomb's law? What will be the short note? First, what is Coulomb's law? F is equal to K Q1 Q2 upon R square. Then, what are the properties of Coulomb's law? What is the properties of Coulomb forces? There's superposition. Okay, then it's a vector quantity. Okay, how do you add vectors? How do you add forces? Okay, like that. And then let's talk about electric field. Okay, so you'll write what is electric field. Okay, so one line answer. Okay, force experienced by a unit positive charge is electric field. Okay, then what is electric field due to a point charge? How is the electric field lines? Okay, you draw the electric field lines due to a point charge. You draw the electric field lines due to a dipole. Okay, like this you make short notes, so that one, you make sure you understand everything, and number two, you're not missing out anything. That's how, and later you can use those short notes to revise. That's all. Alright guys, so I think this is it in this session. If you have more questions, do drop your questions in the chat box. If we can, we'll certainly answer those questions. So I hope the pattern is clear to you. That was the objective of this session, and there are 2 or 3 action items on you. I'm going to say that again. Okay, what are the action items? First, check your syllabus. Second, go through the sample paper provided by CBSE, and third, start making your notes or concept checklists. Okay, these are the 3 action items, and keep attending all these sessions that we are doing. That is going to help you in your board's examination as well. We're revising concepts, we're going through questions, we're going through theory, so that is going to help you in your examination as well. Alright, so that's it for this session. Thanks a lot for attending this session, and we'll be back with more sessions as and when we get more updates. Alright, thanks a lot for watching, and see you guys very soon.